Hey guys, this is my first gardening video, so it might be a little awkward. There could be a couple fails in here, but I'm going to show you my process and what will be planting up a new garden space, and we'll talk about what I did afterwards. All right, so let's clean up and talk about what I did. I will say that this seems like it was a dramatic impact, right? I started a project and 3 hours later, it looks like there's this finished little garden bed. And it only really dramatically looks that way because as I pass through garden centers or the garden section of certain stores, I tend to pick up little plants along the way, and if I'm not, ready for them, or I'm procrastinating, or I just realistically don't have the energy to be out in the yard and work for a day, I put them in my little greenhouse and I sort of just keep on them with a maintenance schedule. So what I finally did today was inspired by the well cap that I really don't care for. It sits out on its own and it looks like a visual eyesore for me. And it's also in direct view from our door from the bedroom. And I wanted to put a little gardenscape there to look at some pretty things, attract some pollinators, to give the area a little life, as well as putting some winter interest in. That was the inspiration behind the project. So where I started was defining my borders, because I know that I work well within it once I can visually see what I'm working with. In our area, we deal with these 3 varieties of viney nuisance weeds. One's like pokeweed, and then one's invasive, which the goats try to cut down on, and then we have something else, which I've yet to really be able to identify. So I used a tiller to break up the root system more than I needed it to aerate the soil. But that brought its own frustrations that you didn't see, like here, here, and here. With the new garden space, you never know what you're going to uncover. So I actually found this metal rod, which in the past be used for picking ice or waiting for lightning to strike you or to be smited by the big Oprah above, I don't know. And then I moved on to relocate some of my plants that were already there, because they don't go in the greenhouse for maintenance and I need to winter them over. I just put them in the ground somewhere and deal with them whenever the ground thaws. Once I defined the space and tilled it, I planted spaced everything where I roughly wanted it to go. And then it's a fairly quick process after that. I dug out the spaces to plant them. I then used the cardboard method, which I absolutely love, to smother down anything that might sprout out, because anytime you rework the soil, you never know what kind of weeds or seeds that you're unintentionally planting. And this helps to cut down on those unwanted friendly arrivals to your garden space. I then used something that I have an abundance of in my area is river rock. We live right along the riverside, and I have, over a period of a couple days, just been carrying up a couple rocks and creating enough that I can create a border around. And then I just filled it all in with mulch, which makes everything look better, but it also helps with moisture control. What you have abundance of, I know that this is a hurdle for some people with gardening, is gardening can be expensive, or I don't have all the equipment, or I don't have everything I need. With weed barriers, you could see like cardboard is something we have an abundance of at our house, and it breaks down after, for us, a growing season and a half. It's roughly a year and a half until that all breaks down, it's decomposed. And that's free and abundant for us, as well as the river rock for a border. But you could really use anything for a border, or even filling in garden beds, like this. Dead tree branches or logs or stuff like that, that can also be used to create a defined area if you wanted. And go online to community forums and spaces, because you never know what people have an abundance of that they're trying to get rid of for absolutely nothing or low cost. And it can help you out define and create something that's pleasant to look at and work in and grow a new interest in your life. So I'd like to know what you have an abundance of in your garden space. Let me know in the comments down below, because you never know who you're going to inspire who's reading. And I hope you've been botanically inspired. Remember to keep growing your environment, and I'll share more with you soon. Tschüss!